Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories, the podcast that takes your children's wildest ideas and turns them into bedtime stories. And I think we have a pretty wild idea for you tonight. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Veda, and I want a story about a dill pickle planet where you meet a pickle named Dill, and he tells you about the other side of the planet where the sweet pickles live. And the sweet pickles are the enemy. The sweet pickles try to take over the planet, and you have to stop them. Bye, I love your podcast.
Veda, that is an extremely wild and wonderful idea, which is why I like it so much. Funny enough, I had it marked down for this Thursday anyways, and then I was looking through my Patreon shoutouts, and I realized one of the Patreon shoutouts I planned to give tonight was for Veda and Katie, the very same Veda who suggested this one. So thank you to Veda and Katie for supporting me on Patreon. It means a lot. Thank you as well to Max from Toronto, who just joined Patreon too. Thank you to Eleanor from Belgium. I didn't even know I had listeners in Belgium, so thanks, Eleanor. That's awesome. Thanks for supporting me on Patreon and for listening from Belgium. Is there anybody else who listens in Belgium? Just curious. Last, but certainly not least, thank you to Alex and Linus from Alaska. Patreon is the main way I fund this podcast and the main reason it's still alive. Now, I had a question recently about when I'd be putting more Unbound episodes out, and the answer is, I'm already putting them out. I'm just only putting them on Patreon. Not because I don't want everybody to hear them, but, partially there's got to be something special on Patreon, and partially, they're not always the best bedtime stories because it's about an academy of superheroes that kind of battle each other all the time. And though I am very good with battle on bedtime stories, I think sometimes it gets a little more carried away. So if you're interested in those, they are available for all levels of Patreon sponsorship from $1 US and up. But if you want to wait for the whole thing to be over and the whole thing to be published, you could always get it then too. That is ultimately the plan with that series. But now, I think I've rambled on long enough. So, it's that time again. Time to get as comfy as you can in that bed. Close your eyes and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Imagine yourself waking up on Spaceship, your ever-present companion. And a perfect mixture of both magic and science, allowing you to travel all over the universe and support you in almost any way you can imagine. You get out of bed, stretch your arms and legs, and you head out into the main part of the ship. The main section has just about everything you need. A living room, a kitchen, a play area, a library, and, most importantly, the control center. Good morning, Spaceship says, the digital personality behind the whole thing. I have discovered a very interesting planet. I believe this planet is inhabited entirely by sentient pickles. You mean like living pickle people? Yes, Spaceship answers. You mean like living pickle people with like arms and legs? You ask. Yes, Spaceship answers. The average pickle person looks like this. The display lights up with a picture of, well, a pickle person. Exactly what you'd imagine a pickle person to look like. A gigantic pickle with arms, legs, eyes, a mouth, and what looked to be mustard seeds for freckles. Alright, Spaceship, I almost don't believe you. How could there possibly be a planet full of living pickle people? You ask? Well, in an infinite universe, there are infinite possibilities. One of those possibilities is a planet of pickle people. I've heard it before, but I can almost never believe it, you say. Set a course for the pickle planet. Understood. Course set. The ship veers slightly off to the left, and before long, you jump out of super hyperdrive. You find yourself floating high above a beautiful planet that looks a lot like Earth, only it's tinted sort of a green color, particularly the water. I suggest a stealth flyby first, Spaceship says. Good idea, you reply. Activate invisibility mode and let's see what this planet has to offer. The ship shimmers around you, indicating to you that it's now disappeared from prying eyes. Spaceship flies through the atmosphere, below the lightly greenish clouds, and down towards the ground on one of the major continents. You soon find yourself flying over a landscape that looks pretty familiar. Trees, rocks, forests, lakes, that sort of thing. Only all the water is more of a greenish color, and you can smell through the ventilation system a faint smell of vinegar. Soon you come to a gigantic field, a field of vines growing up fences, and on those vines are cucumbers. Only these cucumbers have arms, legs, mouth, and eyes. Working the fields are gigantic pickles. Gigantic pickles with arms and legs and, well, for some reason they're dressed up like nurses. You watch as they slowly pick cucumbers off the vine, swaddle them into little blankets, and cradle them like babies. I believe the cucumbers are the baby version of the pickles, Spaceship explains. Weird, you say as you continue to fly. You soon come to what looks like a pickle village of sorts. There's towering, well, jars that have been repurposed as houses and buildings. Homes made entirely of glass and decorated with, dill gardens. And all throughout the town there's pickle people, each one dressed kind of like old-timey Earth. Top hats and suits, some of them sporting canes, walking, talking, hanging out, and, well, even selling each other things. You pass over top of a gigantic central pool of green liquid. It looks like it's being set up for some sort of ceremony. And eventually you come to a little park. That might be the best place to land, you say to Spaceship. Why don't you take the ship down there and I'll go explore. Understood, Spaceship says. Spaceship lands in a large clearing beside a large tree. You walk to the back of the ship, and the back hatch opens up. To those watching, it would look as if you're stepping out of nothing, a doorway that's appeared out of nowhere, because, of course, the rest of the ship is invisible. You look left and right, and when you see no one there, you step out of the ship, allowing it to close behind you. "What the?" a voice says from beside you. What What are you? You look over to see a living, sentient pickle who has dropped its book bag and is now staring at you, wide eyes and open mouth. Hi. Sorry, I'm just here visiting. Your planet looks really cool, you say. What do you mean, our planet? Are you saying that you're from a different planet? Somewhere out there in the great pickle jar of space? Yeah, basically. Wow, I've heard stories about what might be out there, but I never imagined that they'd look as strange as you. Yeah, I guess I do look pretty strange to a living pickle because being a pickle's normal here. Well, my goodness. The name's Dill McPickle, and I believe that I would like to show you around the pickle planet, he says, suddenly excited. Thanks, Dill, you say, walking over and reaching your hand out to shake his. His hand is just a long, black line of some kind, a 3D one, of course. He honestly looks like he's been drawn. Well, what would you like to see first? He asks. I don't know, like whatever you were gonna do already anyways, you say. Well, that is perfect. I was about to go to a pickling pool. I just got off work and it's one of my favorite ways to relax. All right then. Well, I'll go with you. Do you think other people will be scared that I look different and stuff? You ask. Nah, if they do, I'll just tell them you're one of the sweet pickles from the other side of the world. Most of us have never actually seen one. So the stories we tell each other have become a little bit exaggerated. Okay. Wait a second, there's sweet pickles that live on the other side of the planet? Yep, there sure are, and, well, you better just hope we don't meet those guys. They're kind of bent on world domination these days, and, well, we dill pickles just are not into that. Okay, well, lead the way. Dill leads you through the park, along a path, and down a street. Everywhere you go, the pickle people stare at you. Don't worry, he's just a visitor, a liaison sent from the sweet pickles, Dill says as you walk. People sort of nod, but they still look at you questioningly. Eventually, you arrive at a large outdoor pool. Not the same one you saw earlier on at the center of the town, but it's still pretty big. And inside it are a whole bunch of pickles swimming together in unison. They move back and forth through the, greenish liquid, performing the same arm movements, the same leg movements, as if they're synchronized swimmers. Come on, join in, Dill says. He suddenly rips off his dill pickle clothing, revealing a swimsuit of sorts. Then he jumps into the strange green liquid. I think I'll just watch, you say. Suit yourself, but nothing's more relaxing than a swimming pickle. Dill catches up with the other swimmers and joins into their little dill pickle synchronized swimming dance or whatever it is. You watch as he spins in circles, dives under the liquid, jumps up and performs a backflip in perfect unison with all the other pickles, and then ends the whole ensemble with, well, jazz hands. All the pickles cheer and clap, and Dill climbs out of the pool, grabbing himself a towel once he's successfully out of that place. Ah, perfect. Now I was thinking I could use a refreshing drink. Come with me. Dill leads you over to a series of tables and a little bar. 2 premium pickle juices, Dill says, and the pickle bartender slaps down 2 mason jars, fills them up with green liquid that looks just like pickle juice, and slides them over to Dill. Dill takes the jars, hands one to you, and lifts it up as if to say, "Cheers." Now, be careful. Some people find this taste a little bit, well, intense at first, but we all grow to like it. You take a sip of the juice, and intense is right. It's as if you're drinking straight vinegar. Vinegar with dill in it. Your face puckers, but you do your best to look as if you're enjoying it. Good stuff, you say. Oh, yeah, this is some of the best pickle juice you can get. Now, let me show you around the rest of the planet. Dill, still wearing his bathing suit with a towel around his neck, begins showing you all of the sights on the pickle planet in the dill pickle town. You pass by cucumber nurseries, where baby cucumbers are babysat throughout the day, sort of like a daycare. You notice that the cucumbers have a different sort of sound to them, sort of higher pitched, but in a lot of ways they act like earth children, playing with toys, jumping around, squealing, and just generally having a good time without all of the stress that life can bring. You pass by shops that sell salt, shops that sell dill, shops that sell garlic cloves, all ingredients that the pickle people seem to enjoy. And eventually, you come to another pool. Oh, right. Today is one of the great pickling ceremonies, a day where young cucumbers become pickles, real adults, Dill explains. How does it work? You ask. Well, there comes a time in each cucumber's life where they must enter the sacred pickling pool. They accept the way of the dill pickle, and they immerse themselves in it. The pickle juice seeps into their pores, into every part of their being, until they come out the other side, true dill pickles. Wow. What's it like for the sweet pickles on the other side of the planet? You ask. Well, most people here have never seen a sweet pickle. Probably the only reason they believe you are one. But I know better. You see, long ago the sweet pickles decided to mess with the ingredients from their sacred pool. They added something in, something that would change their society forever. Something called sugar. They thought it would be a fun new way to become pickles, add little energy. But the result was much, much scarier. Their personalities changed. They became much sweeter than us dill pickles, much peppier too. Frankly, our personalities didn't even match anymore, and slowly they came to resent us dill pickles, thinking that they were the superior pickle. Last I heard, they were raising an army to attack us, but I haven't heard much about that since, Dill explains. You watch as a dill pickle dressed in all white robes, looking, pretty much like a priest from Earth, reads to the little cucumbers. It is time that you cucumbers accept the way of the brine, the way of the dill pickle, by entering into the water and accepting our way of life. You will be dill. One by one, the dill pickle priest grabs one of the little cucumbers, draws some sort of shape on his forehead, and then pushes him down under the water. And one by one, they pop back out. Little dill pickles. They swim to the other side. They hug their families, and everyone claps and celebrates. It's a pretty joyful occasion. Well, that is until a strange beam of red light shoots into the crowd, hitting one of the dill pickle people and, well, turning him into something that looks like a raisin. The dill pickle people turn to see where the ray came from, only to reveal an entire army of, other pickles that generally looked the same, only for some reason they're riding atop gigantic mechanical pickles with mechanical arms and legs. Attention, dill pickles. It's time for you to accept the way of the sweet pickle. You will become like us, or you will be dehydrated. The crowd gasps, and then they begin to run. Do not be afraid, the leader of this strange group of pickles says. We are here to bring sweetness to your world. We will add a special ingredient to your sacred pool, and you will see the way of the sweet pickle. The giant mechanical pickle that the sweet pickle is riding atop lifts up a huge bag of white powder, obviously sugar. Well, you'll not take us without a fight, one of the dill pickles says, and the two begin to charge towards each other. Though the dill pickles really don't seem to have a chance. One by one, the army of sweet pickles on gigantic mechanical pickle people begins swiping them to the side and hitting them with their dehydration rays. You decide it's time to put a bit of a stop to this. You hit the button on your watch, causing your spacesuit to fold out around your body. You take into the air by simply thinking about flying. Your thrusters activate, you float upwards, and you point both of your arms towards the invading army. Activate freeze rays, you say, and sure enough, both of your arms transform into gigantic freeze rays, as you asked for. You begin blasting plumes of blue energy, freezing the legs of the sweet pickles as they try to attack, freezing the dehydration rays that they try to attack with, and pretty quickly putting a stop to everything. You fly in between the two groups of pickles. Spaceship, I'm gonna need you to amplify this, you say. Amplification initiated, the voice of Spaceship says in your helmet. As you begin to talk, you can hear that your voice is being projected all around you. All of you, listen, you say. Look at what you're doing. You're shriveling each other up with your anger. You're drying yourselves up until there's nothing left but bitterness. But you don't have to live like this. On my planet, dill pickles and sweet pickles don't fight over who's right. We sit together in the same fridge. Sometimes we're even stacked in the same sandwich. Nobody really argues about whether a pickle should be sour or sweet. We just enjoy the flavor of each. Some of the pickles sort of tilt their heads sideways at the suggestion of, flavor, but you don't really worry about it. Think about it, you say. I know you came from the same cucumber fields once. You grew from the same soil. You drank the same sun and the same rain. You only chose different brines. But at the end of the day, aren't you all still pickles? If you keep fighting like this, you'll destroy the very thing that makes you who you are. But if you come together, if you share your brines and accept each other's ideas and flavors, you could be stronger than ever before. Don't let vinegar and sugar divide you. Let them balance you. A world with both sweet and dill is richer, fuller, and tastier, frankly. Again, the pickles look a little confused about this whole tastier thing. But you move on. I say, put down your weapons, and let's try to find a way to be in the same jar together. Well, I for one think that the strange mechanical alien has a point, Dill says, stepping forward. We are all cucumbers who came from the same fields, who drank the same sun and rain. The only thing that divides us is our choice of brine. Now, I think all dill pickles would agree that dill is the superior kind of pickle, but I'm willing to accept that others have different opinions. The leader of the sweet pickles presses a button on his gigantic mech suit. The suit folds down towards the ground, and he steps out. I, too, can accept this. We believe that sugar makes us better, but the truth is, it only makes us different. Let's forge a world where sweet pickles and dill pickles live in the same place and enjoy our diversity. The crowd begins to cheer as Dill and the leader of the sweet pickles step towards each other and shake hands. Slowly, the other sweet pickles exit their mechs and begin to walk amongst the dills. Well, it looks like my job here is done, you say as you float down beside Dill. Well, it certainly was nice to meet you, Mr. Alien Creature, even though you are very strange looking. You blast off away from the sacred pool and back towards the park where Spaceship is silently and invisibly waiting. a door opens out of seemingly nowhere, and you fly inside your ship, deactivating your watch and your spacesuit with a single press. All right, spaceship, I think it's time to get out of this pickle planet or whatever it is. Understood, Spaceship says. The ship rumbles to life and lifts up off of the ground. It blasts through the clouds, out of the atmosphere, and into space once again, as you, tired from solving some sort of international conflict between sweet pickles and dill pickles, lay down on the couch. You close your eyes and rest your head on the soft pillow. You just sort of focus on your breath, and with each breath, you allow yourself to sink down deeper and deeper, letting go of any tension in your arms, any tension in your legs, any tension in any other part of your body. And slowly your mind wanders off to thoughts of new dreams and new adventures to come. Good night, everyone.